Welcome to the Natural Genius podcast. We're here to help you tap into your natural genius. Let's go. David is wicked smart and exceptionally great at making complex ideas easy to understand. He's almost childlike in his teaching, the way that he gets excited when people understand. It is such a beautiful quality. He and I spent many hours in great conversation in the pool at network school. He is fascinating, well-travelled, amazingly curious and kind. Very much curious about both serving others and seeing great things come to be in the world. He is a truly wonderful person to have in my life, to learn from and to smile with. Enjoy hearing from David. Dear and amazing David, welcome to the Natural Genius podcast. It is a thrill to be reunited. Prior to me pressing record, I was saying this should be in the swimming pool because we've spent a lot of time in the pool at NS, where you are, network school, having great chat in the sunshine.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a really pleasure talking to you and be on your podcast. And yeah, like really missing our pool conversations. It's been always a great pleasure to have.
We enjoyed the pool, and then we got to the stage where it was like, this is Malaysia and we should be careful with the moisture that's getting into our computers. So we worked inside a bit more often.
Yeah. I did that mistake. I had done it like before. I was in Bali, so
the rookie mistake of being in tropical paradises and having our computers outside. I wanted to start off with the fact that when I was at network school, you were so great at lecturing people around understanding Bitcoin and crypto, Web3, and I wanted to know where that came from. Like, how did you get to be a really natural, engaged and keen teacher and educator? Because there's so many other things that you can do, David.
Thank you. That's very kind words. But it certainly wasn't like that back in the days when I was starting with the topic. Like I remember like when I just got into the college that I was like so super shy that I would like literally run away from any like a semi-public opportunity to speak. But yeah, like once I actually got into crypto and I really found my passion in that topic, which was around 2012, I just really got so eager about the topic and like to, to spread the awareness and to talk about it, that like all these doubts disappeared and like this eagerness to talk about it, like, overtook. And I started to organize meetups and do like a lot of talks and, public speaking. So it kind of came naturally. And, because I found the topic, like the whole Bitcoin crypto topic, like is super important and dear to my heart. And like I think it's like important for humankind in general. I think it literally helps people to liberate themselves from the chains of the monetary slavery. And throughout my career in those years, I been lucky and fortunate enough to have like multiple opportunities to build different companies in crypto and like teach crypto at university, and I wrote a book about crypto, and I was doing a lot of seminars for different kind of like groups, from banks through startups, through like consulting companies, some governments, and so on. So I've been talking a lot to different kind of people about crypto. So it helped me to understand like how people often think about the topic, what are the common myths, what are the maybe common misunderstandings. So yeah, I even was teaching at like high school at some point, some talks. So yeah, it's been like always like super, like fruitful experience to talk to the new kind of people about the same topic for me, because it like always made me look at it in a different angle.
It reminds me of when I used to teach social media early on. I couldn't have predicted the target market when I first started doing it. sometimes you just end up in the right place at the right time. And do you still enjoy teaching? Because you've done university roles and...
I definitely still enjoy teaching. It's just more like, some of the talks I've been given for like 10 years. Obviously, like I do update the stuff and like so on. So it just sometimes feels like, oh my God, like by now, like probably everyone has heard of these things. And like, it sometimes feels like if you repeat yourself for many years, it's like, you get this impression that like there's probably like nothing really new that you can tell to the topic, which this impression I also had when I published my book. Like for 4 years I was working on my book and I brain dumped everything in there, and then I was like, okay, I feel like I have nothing more to say in this world. It's like so yeah, this is something I think you have to probably, as a author and speaker, you have to probably kind of fight with this kind of feeling. But yeah, I definitely do enjoy it a lot. Yeah, I do it, like not that often anymore because I'm like more geographically distributed, which is hard to combine with university schedules and so on. But like, I do definitely enjoy it still.
When I was preparing for this, I wrote down rock star of teaching. When I experienced it at network school, it was so fresh. I wonder sometimes if you do repeat content, it must be so close to your heart. I think that maybe deep down you have this desire to educate and desire around the topic to be able to have people understand it. So the freshness is there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm still trying to bring some new angles to the even if it's like the same topic. But yeah, I definitely enjoy it because I really find it super important. Like I think literally like everyone, even though like people, if they are not in tech and they are not into economics, I think they still use money and they still use tech anyway, more to different kind of extent. So, and I mean, especially the money side of thing, it's tremendously affecting our lives, if we want it or not, unfortunately. And yeah, so it literally affects everyone's life. It's super important. It can definitely, determine like how well you will be able to live your life in the long term if you understand the economics and like, jump out of the fiat realm into crypto. So yeah, but it's super, super crucial and important.
And I can't help myself. How would you quickly educate somebody that has never heard of blockchain or crypto before? Because I still feel like there's a lot of people that either have a negative sort of mindset towards it or closed because of perhaps what they've read in the media. Yeah, what's the little short spiel for listeners?
Yeah, I mean, so definitely, Bitcoin, definitely digital money, which is decentralized and which is like the first instance of money which is like credibly neutral, which is like very, very important. And the way to achieve these beautiful features is through blockchain, which is the technology behind it, the distributed ledger that is powering most of the cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, and which is like a digital ledger copied on thousands of computers around the world, which share the same copy and are being, updated in real time. So I think that's like a super simplified, gist of the whole thing. And the whole result of this is like basically a system that empowers you and gives you freedom to transact anywhere you want under your own terms.
Well said. And I'll put a video in the show notes of you presenting, because I hope I can find on YouTube your fantastic slides, because they were rock star slides as well when you presented. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I have it on my website in the section slides, so I think you should be able to find even those from NS.
So I wonder next, how do you stay so grounded? You are a grounded person from my point of view, and you have been through lots of challenges with work and life. So any tips on how do you feel like you might achieve that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much that you think of me like this. I wish it was so true.
Maybe it's like the swan. I remember in one intense project, somebody said to me, "You were like the swan. We didn't even realize that you were under the water. You were going like crazy, but at the top you looked all graceful." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I achieved that."
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, funnily enough, I think what probably contributed the most to my groundness has been all the lows that I've been through. You know, like, because I think ups are nice, but essentially they usually tend to more like screw you up. And I think lows is where, situations like when you lost a lot of money and when you like, like lose things and maybe people or whatever in your life. I think that's where you have to, grab some inner strength which you have to nurture to be able to push through. And I had a bunch of such events in the last 10 years in my life. So I think, and there was some, like event when I was, I think, literally kind of on the edge of like losing all my wealth. And that was like when I, had to initiate processes within me to be able to push through and to kind of realize like what is really important, and like that even if I lose everything, that I'm still my biggest asset, like myself. And like and I start to, I had to start believing myself, and yeah, that actually helped me like through a lot of stuff that were unpleasant, and it helped me to deal with these kind of bad situations. And yeah, I think that helped a lot. Being on the edge of the collapse, it's like very helpful for the long term.
And maybe having just gotten back from Thailand on the beach.
Maybe that recently contributed definitely to my chillness a lot. 100%. Yeah.
I shouldn't downplay it because you really do come across as grounded. So, and tell me, I'm going to flip questions around. Have you always been as loving as I experienced you to be at network school?
Oh my God, that's a hard question.
I bring the hard ones for you.
That's, it's like to do a self-assessment in this area. I don't know. I don't think I was. I think it's something I've been like trying to consciously nurture, and like I've been trying to cultivate in life and in my personality, I would say. So, but yeah, I don't think it was always like that, and I definitely think sometimes it's still not like that, and definitely challenges. But like I love to think of myself as someone who like consciously aims to cultivate it and aspires to cultivate it.
If something in this conversation lit you up, there's a signal in that. If you want help tuning your own signal into a clear next move, start with a 3-minute signal check-in at naturalgenius.com.au. And if you want focused support, book a signal lab and we'll work through it together. Now back to the Natural Genius. And you ran sessions in the evening sometimes at network school. You might still do. Tell me about them. Tell me what you learnt from doing them as well, because they were probably not your usual format compared to teaching Bitcoin and crypto at universities.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. Like I never expected like so many people randomly keep mentioning those sessions that I would never, like even imagine that like they really enjoyed them so much. Because it was just like random kind of tea parties where you just listen to music, maybe with different themes, and you just share tea and some sweets and like chocolate and like something and snacks and hugs. Yeah, like I started because I was missing my friends from back home with whom I've been doing this for long and pretty frequently. So yeah, when I came here to MS, there was something I was missing, and I kind of started to do like the small events like that. And yeah, it seems like people enjoyed it a lot. Haven't been doing it for now 2 months because I wasn't at NS, but planning to start again very soon.
And what did you learn from doing them? What sort of maybe surprised you, or even how do you really quickly build that lovely friendship that comes
I've been
from
mostly
those
surprised by
experiences?
how much it can actually sometimes not mean, but like how much it can have impact on some of the people or like on their social life, or like that's something that really helps them to relax and like strike some
Mm,
deeper conversations and relationships. So in my mind, I have always tendency to a little bit downplay it and like underestimate it, but like it seems like like just these kind of very simple things where just people really get together with no particular agenda, just to like chill and like have deeper
mm,
conversations.
mm,
It like can help your mental well-being just so much sometimes.
Especially in a co-living environment, David, because you never know what you might miss of the environment of perhaps home or other places that you've lived where you might be coming from.
Yeah, and especially like in places like this, which is super dense on social interactions, and obviously the density and frequency of it implies that are usually not so like deep because there are just too many of them and like very casual conversations. So
Mm,
I think many people share this experience that like they struggle a little bit to sometimes get deeper and like have this like having their souls touched through the conversations
mm,
more, because we are just like especially here, like we are hustling a lot, like working out and like go from one event to event to another one, and like yes, sometimes it's like hard to really find time to just sit still and talk to a person and focus on them.
mm. And leave after an hour or two or three and then hug each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And tell me about your visions for the future and what you're building now.
Yes, yeah, actually being in network school has been very
Mm,
inspirational. I
mm-hmm,
started here to work on my latest company, which is called
mm,
polystate.io. And yeah, it's a basically suite of services, like an app, web application for the network state community and digital nomads, Web3 people, and remote workers.
mm,
And I've been trying to build something that aggregates the best solutions for this kind of bunch of people
mm-hmm,
when it comes to investment migration, getting residencies in different countries, mostly like South America, or some like, for non-Europeans to get in some like golden visa stuff in Europe, setting up companies in the Caribbean, in the US, in Dubai, getting bank accounts in Asia, and all these things. I'm trying to like simplify the processes and like aggregate it into one hood, under one hood, where you can just have it curated and like get it done.
mm, mm. Tell me more. How's it going? And what do you hope? What can you see it looking like in 5 years' time? How does it sounds like it could help a lot of people and that
Yeah,
things would feel different in 5 years' time. Well, I mean, it's a bit hard sometimes for some areas of the world to guess what 5 years' time looks like.
yeah, but probably we know that there are these trends, related to digital nomads. The numbers are rising, by, in 5 years, the estimated number is like what, like 80, 90 million people in the world will be having this kind of lifestyle.
Mm,
Like as globalization and global mobility increases, like people simply travel more, change the countries often, and have more also disposable income often to like set their life in a way that they can actually go where they're treated best and use different
mm,
benefits from different jurisdictions.
mm,
And also increasingly more countries have motivation to attract these kind of people. So it's becoming easier and easier, but at the same time a lot of like the rules are like getting more stricter when it comes to some of the international finances and taxes. So it's obviously like very dynamic, but yeah, my hope is to basically create an app, like a go-to app for this kind of folks, where they get whatever they need in their point in life when it comes to this migration and building like a suite of other services as well, like tracking the network state, communities and so on. So building a bunch of stuff. Some of the stuff are already developed, some others are like in progress. So we'll see where it goes. I can imagine multiple ways how the app or the company develop, but we'll see. Like
wow.
And
how do you know after your morning workout or after waking up in your hotel bed there in network school what to work on next? Because it sounds like you could code so many aspects of that, or think about the strategy aspects of the business, or meet with partners, or bring on other devs. How do you decide? How do you know what to do next?
I usually have like a quite I would say rather strict roadmap for the next 1 to 2 months. But being here in the nest, like so often just random conversations in the lift or in a breakfast bring a lot of different ideas. So I have this like roadmap, but at the same time we are a small company, a few developers and some partners in different jurisdictions, but I'm the sole owner, so I can decide very fast and I can like act on things super fast. So that's something I really enjoyed compared to my previous startups where we had like multiple founders and like a lot of investors and so on. And things had to be like more thought through and slower, even though it was like still pretty fast. But now I can be like I can do things in one day if I really decided.
My gosh, I'm so excited for you. That sounds incredible. And tell me about life, David. Tell me about what you've enjoyed. What are some of the moments in life that you just really remember as just completely enjoy doing, that are just some of your favorite memories?
Favorite memories? Whoa. There's probably a decent amount of my favorite memories. But I don't know which one to choose from, like whether like chronologically from all those ones.
First one that comes to mind, or second one that comes to mind?
Oh, second. Okay. So probably, I don't know, like one of my most favorite memories, like from me actually writing my book, Coin Story. It's like I went to Madeira, the island of Madeira in Portugal, and I spent like 2 months, whole summer there in isolation, in some small village on the north of the island where there is like nothing happening. There are like no events, no nomads, just like local population, and like they don't speak English. And so yeah, it was like a magical moment. It was like in 2019, and I was so productive. I read dozens of books, and I wrote like half of my book, and I did like a lot of additional research, and like I was working out every day, and it's like, but being completely alone for 2 months, and it's like really great.
Whoa! Can you imagine yourself doing that again?
Afterwards, I told myself like I should do this every year, but like it's really hard to do it in a way that like actually, I'm a pretty social person, and there's like so many things and events and stuff going on. So I haven't really managed to do like such a like longer period of solitude. I done like smaller, like week-long trips and stuff alone, and I go to South America or something like that. But not really like a focused time. But I think we should all strive for doing this kind of experiences. But you know how it is. It's easier said than done.
And in closing, is there anything that you would like to pass on to others? Any tips or tricks or David's wise wisdom that he would like to share in this moment?
Oh my God, I don't know what is the wise wisdom that I could share, but
simple truths.
I think, so first of all, as we already mentioned, like, I think, everyone who wants to be like ready for whatever the future geopolitical situation will bring us, should get into crypto and get some Bitcoin and get themselves familiar with the crypto tools, because they're like, there's much more than Bitcoin. And different payment railways and tools you can utilize. That's one thing. And the second thing, I guess, we are now living in one hand great period where with all these AI tools you can do so much, and we are so empowered. And I think getting accustomed to all this tooling, and I just developed so fast, and it's crazy. I think you also know yourself, last year you were working on an app with some of the AI tools as well, and since that time it has developed so tremendously, and and what's possible today is just crazy. And I think it feels at least my very subjective impression is that almost everyone, whatever job you are working on, if it's sort of at least somehow white collar, you should get accustomed to this tech and incorporate it in your daily operations and routines, because the possible ROI on this, I think it's super high. So it doesn't mean you have to wipe code stuff. You can funnily enough use some of these programmer IDEs, the development frameworks for your non-tech non-development tasks as well. And I think it's probably one of the the highest ROI skill that you can probably learn today.
Oh, I love the way you said that. And what about the on-ramps? What about the ways that people can get into crypto, buy their Bitcoin, and also get into writing apps? What would you recommend?
I mean, buying Bitcoin and crypto, I think there is a ton of exchanges, the good and big ones, Coinbase, Kraken, Bitstamp, and these kind of companies that are pretty decent on-ramps. Of course, some people don't like to be KYC'd and having their identities revealed, which is pretty common nowadays in every crypto service if you are touching or converting fiat currency to crypto. So it's really hard to avoid that. If you want to avoid it, you need to find some, guys that can just do, so-called OTC, over the counter deals with you.
And KYC is know your customer, isn't it? In terms of being able to share your information, so you can't be anonymous. Yeah,
exactly. Know your customer is now pretty standard everywhere, so it's pretty hard to avoid it. But yes, that's the on-ramp. And the second question was regarding the AI
crypto, and then it was AI. Yeah, how to on-ramp for AI or for creating an app. I was going to say Replit or Loveable or something like that, but I feel like maybe you might have something that's even easier with the environment that you're in.
No, probably Loveable and Replit are still the easier, but I would recommend, if you can and if you are not too afraid, try VS Code or Cursor, which are this little bit, a little bit more advanced. They look a little bit more sketchy and spooky for a regular person, but you can actually really use it also for any kind of files and documents and whatever you are working on. I think you can apply it there and use AI that will have a full context of whatever it is your project. So I think not necessarily just for web coding, but for web coding as well, but also just for a regular daily work, definitely.
Yes, I saw a tweet yesterday which I reposted or requoted or quoted, and it was somebody giving an example of a company that is a sort of a corporate organization that is firing with their AI use, and it was the use cases of the CPO, the people officer, and what they had recently vibe coded and what the finance person had done, and it was just really lovely and really helpful to see the examples of how people are using it, because I think if you haven't been in this environment, if you haven't started doing any vibe coding or building using AI, you're still learning about prompts and still learning about agents, let alone how to build apps. And then in my experience, when you start to think about, okay, so I can get this to automate, and then I'm like, what in my life needs to be automated, and also what am I comfortable sharing? So what information do I just want to keep on my hard drive and not even closer to the internet? And yeah, so
Definitely.
it's helpful to sort of see what other people are doing, which can sometimes lead to other innovations.
Yeah, definitely. I know people who are like running their companies in those tools that I mentioned, or like a few days ago, a new one was released, by Claude, Cowork. So it's probably like a more friendly version of what I mentioned previously, because like not like a IDE, like a development environment, but it's like more of you can use it like on a cloud desktop app, and you can give it access to your folders on the computer if you're comfortable with that, and it can be pretty practical.
So good. Amazing, David. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you once again for having me. It was a great pleasure, and I wish you best of luck and a lot of success.
Thanks for listening to the Natural Genius podcast. Please share this with anyone who came to mind and visit us at naturalgenius.com.au. Thanks so much.